Hello and welcome to Section 5, Visualizing a Defined Subset of Your Data. This section is all about ways to group values either manually or based on a logical condition. So we start with our first video, create groups and sets to define a subset of your data. Using the same customer loyalty dataset as in the last section, let's do a warm-up by creating a visual group for customers aged 21 or under. So you can then expand on the newly created group to edit, to see exactly which customers are inside of that group. Now let's expand on that and group the customers aged 21 or under with a salary of above $30,000. So I'm going to add a reference line to salary to specify that threshold. Turn that into a constant and specify 30,000. So then get rid of that group and then regroup it. So the problem with this method is that next year when the customers get older and when their salaries rise, they're still stuck in that same group, as groups by nature are static. A much better approach for grouping customers based on a logical condition is by using sets. So to do that, I'm going to right-click on the customer name and create a set from that. I'm going to make sure I use all of the customers to make sure I don't accidentally exclude anyone, and then write this condition: sum of age less than or equal to 21 and sum salary greater than 30,000. Then drop onto color. This way I can ensure that all customers will dynamically drop in and out of this set as age and salaries change in the future. Now let's look at a different scenario. This time, let's assume that we want to highlight the top 15 highest earners below the age of 41, and again that would involve a set on customer name. This time I'm going to go into the top and then input a condition by field, top 15 by sum of salary. Next I need to declare that I only want the customers below the age of 41, and I can easily do that under the by formula section in condition tab. And then OK, and I'm just going to do a quick check by dropping that onto filter and only displaying the ones that are inside of the set. Okay, so I'm comfortable that all of them are below the age of 41. Okay. So as for the final scenario, this time we're not going to hard code any numbers. I'm going to parameterize the age and top end to let my users choose how many customers they want to include in the set, below which threshold. And that, of course, involves a parameter. So instead of top 15, I'm going to specify a dynamic top n. So I'm going to create the parameter directly from the set. And I'll leave it at 1 to 100. And we'll call that top n. And by the way, if you don't like this slider, you can of course change it to a type in. And now onto the age threshold. Basically, we don't want to hard code the 41. We need to create an integer parameter to make it dynamic. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's make 70 the maximum age that users can select. Now just to insert the parameter inside this condition. And then show the parameter. Just going to do a little bit of formatting. So as you can see, sets are absolutely perfect for defining a subset of your data. Other conceptual examples for what you can put inside of a set are top 10 tennis players with the most Grand Slam titles, or top 10 richest athletes. And another difference between groups and sets is that one value can only belong inside of one group, whereas one value can belong inside of multiple sets. For example, Federer may be the top 10 tennis players with the most Grand Slam titles, but he could also belong inside of the top 10 richest athletes set. But of course, if you want to group values that are static, for example, Labradors, Golden Retrievers, Pit Bulls, now these are all dog breeds and tomorrow they're not going to suddenly morph into cats, then groups are just perfect for that.